In the beginning there was only Cain. Cain, who sacrificed his brother out of love. Cain, who was cast out. Cain, who was cursed forever with immortality. Cain, who was cursed with the lust for blood. It is Cain, from whom we all come. Our sire's sire. For the passing of an age, he lived in the land of Nod, in loneliness and suffering. For an eon he remained alone, but the passing of memory drowned his sorrow, and so he returned to the world of mortals, to the world his brother, Set, third born of Eve, and Set's children, had created. He returned and was made welcome, for none would turn against him due to the mark that was laid upon him. The people saw his power and worshipped him. He grew powerful, and his power was strong. His ways of awe and command were great, and the children of Set made him king of their great city, the first city. But Cain grew lonely in his power. Deep within him, the seed of loneliness blossomed and grew a dark flower. He saw within his blood the potence of fertility. By calling up demons and listening to whispered wisdom, he learned the way to make a child for his own. He came to know its power, and, doing so, decided to embrace one of those near him. And lo, Uriel, dread Uriel, revealed himself to Cain that very night, and said to him,
Cain, though powerful you are, and marked of God, know you this, that any child you make will bear your curse, that any of your progeny will forever walk in the land of Nod, and fear flame and sun, drinking blood only and eating ashes only. And since they will carry their father's jealous seed, they will forever plot and fight among themselves. Doom not those of Adam's grandchildren who seek to walk in righteousness, Cain. Stay your dread embrace.
Still, Cain knew what he must do. And a young man named Enoch, who was the most beloved of Set's kin, begged to be made son to the Dark Father. And Cain, mindful though he was of Uriel's words, seized Enoch and wrapped him in the dark embrace. And so it came to pass that Cain begat Enoch, and, so doing, named the first city Enoch. And so doing, did Enoch beg for a brother, a sister, and Cain, indulgent father, gave these to him. And their names were Zillah, whose blood was most favored of Cain, and Irad, whose strength served Cain's arm. And these, kindred of Cain, learned the ways of making progeny of their own, and they embraced more of Set's kin, unthinking. And then wise Cain said, An end to this crime. There shall be no more. And as Cain's word was the law, his brood obeyed him. The city stood for many ages, and became the center of a mighty empire. Cain grew close to those not like him. The children of Seth knew him, and he, in turn, knew them. But the world grew dark with sin. Cain's children wandered here and there, indulging their dark ways. Cain felt anger when his children fought. He discovered deceit when he saw them make word war. He knew sadness when he saw them abuse the children of Seth. Cain read the signs in the darkening sky, but said nothing. Then came the great deluge, a great flood that washed over the world. The city was destroyed, the children of Seth with it. Again, Cain fell into great sorrow and went into solitude. And he left us, his progeny, to our own ends. We found him after much searching deep in the earth, and he bade us go, saying that the flood was a punishment for his having returned to the world of life and subverting the true law. He asked us to go so that he might sleep. So we returned alone to find the children of Noah, and announced that we were the new rulers. Each created a brood in order to claim the glory of Cain, yet we did not have his wisdom or restraint. A great war was waged, the elders against their children, just as Uriel had said, and the children slew their parents. They rose up, used fire and wood, swords and claws to destroy those who had created them. The rebels then built a new city. Out of the fallen empire, they collected the 13 clans that had been scattered by the Great War and brought them all together. They brought in the Kingship clan, Ventru, the clan of the Beast, Gangrel, the Moon clan, Malkavian, the clan of the Hidden, Nosferatu, the Wanderer clan, Ravnos, the clan of the Rose, Toreador, the Night clan, La Sombra, the clan of Shapers, Tzimitzi, the Snake clan, Setites, the clan of Death, Giovanni, the Healer's clan, Saulot, the clan of the Hunt, Assamites, and the Learned clan, Bruja. They made a beautiful city, and the people worshipped them as gods. They created new progeny of their own, the 4th generations of Cainites, but they feared the jihad, the prophecy of Uriel. And it was forbidden for those children to create others of their kind. This power their elders kept for themselves. When a child was created, it was hunted down and killed, and its sire with it. Although Cain was away from us, we did feel his careful eye watching us, and we knew he marked our movements and our ways. He cursed Malkav when that one defamed his image and doomed him to insanity forever. When Nosferatu was found indulging his tastes in foul ways with his own children, Cain laid his hand on Nosferatu and told him that he would forever wear his evil and twisted his visage. He cursed us all for killing the first part of his children, the second generation, as we had hunted them down one by one. Zilla the beautiful, Irad the strong, and Enoch, first ruler. And we mourned them all, as we were all of a kind, and all of the families of Cain's child. Though the city was as great as Cain's, eventually it grew old, as do all living things. It slowly began to die. The gods at first did not see the truth, and when they at last looked about them, it was too late. For as Uriel had said, the seed of evil planted blossomed as a blood-red rose, and Troil, the child of his child's child, rose up and slew his father, Bruhar, and ate of his flesh. Then war racked the city, and nothing could ever be as it was. The 13 saw their city destroyed, and their power extinguished, and they were forced to flee, their progeny along with them. But many were killed in the flight. They had grown weak. With their authority gone, all were free to create their own broods, and soon there were many new kindred, who ruled across the face of the earth. But this could not last. Over time, there came to be too many of the kindred. And then there was war once again. The elders were already deep in hiding, for they had learned caution. But their children had found their own cities and broods, and it is they who were killed in the great wave of war. There was war so total that there are none of that generation to speak of themselves any longer. Waves of mortal flesh were sent across continents in order to crush and burn the cities of the kindred. Mortals thought they were fighting their own wars, but it is for us that they spilt their blood. Once this war was over, all of the kindred hid from one another, and from the humans that surrounded them. In hiding we remain today, for the jihad continues still. And none will say when Cain will rise again from his sleep in the earth and call for the city Gehenna, the last city, the city of judgment. The jihad continues still. Greetings, one and all. If you enjoyed that, you can support me on my Patreon, Discord, Redbubble, or with a channel membership, or simply like, comment, and subscribe to catch any future DQVO videos. And as always, my thanks for watching.